guys, it's Manager Kylie, and in today's video I'm going to share with you how to score a cricket match. So cricket is a very popular international sport, and today I'm going to go through how to do a scorebook for it. I'm going to share with you what to do both when your team's up to bat and then also what to do with the team that's in the field. The cricket score sheet does focus mainly on the batsmen and then the bowlers and then the total running score. You will end up with 2 sheets of paper as each team has that opportunity to get up to bat in that inning. And then I will go through some of the details about what the cricket score sheet has and what is needed to mark down, especially when marking down different overs and other events that happen and how each player gets out. So if you're interested in learning more about this and more sports administration content, definitely subscribe button, turn the bell so you get notified every time I upload, as I post a new video every single Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we're going to dive into this score sheet. So this is an example of what a cricket score sheet looks like. There are a few differences in some might have more information in other places, but this is pretty much all the basic information you're going to need to know on a cricket score sheet. I'm going to go through the different locations and like the different pieces of it, and then I'm going to go into how to score 1 over. I'm trying to give you different scenarios and just understanding the different ways to mark about everything on this sheet. So we're going to start with what each section is. So this first section up top here, this is kind of where you put all the game information. So who's playing, whose score sheet this is. You'll do 2 of these for each team as they're the batsman, where it's played, date, all your basic game information. This section right here, so where it says batsman, that is keeping track of who's the batsman, how they got out, the number of runs they scored, everything around the batsman. This section right here is keeping track of all the bowlers' information, who's the bowler, all about the different overs, everything like that. This section right here is to keep track of the fall of each one of the 10 wickets, and the information around when the wicket fell. This section right here is a running tally of the score to keep track of the total score for the game. And then this over down on the bottom, it keeps track of all the overs. So it's all the up to 50 overs, keeping track of the score, about when they happen, how many wickets have happened, everything like that. So this keeps track of the number of overs, this keeps track of the bowler, and then we have the batsman, running tally, and then the score information. That's kind of the basics. This is just some of the extras to mark if it doesn't involve the batsman as much for scoring points and the different runs. This is some of the extras. But this is kind of all the basic information you need to know. And we're going to score 1 over. And I'm going to show you some different possible scenarios that can happen in an over. Just so you have an understanding of a bunch of different scenarios. But we'll all do it within 1 over. So the first information we're going to do is up here on this top section. So what this is the home club. And for this one, it's going to be ABC. And then the visitors are going to be XYZ. The innings of, that's which team is the batsman for this. And for this one, that is ABC. It's just going to be played at Stadium. And then the date, we're just going to say it's 10/10/21. So kind of just basic information for all of that. You're going to start with putting your first 2 batsmen. So for this one, it's going to be batsman A and batsman B. You would put like either names or numbers depending on what you have, but we're just doing basic example information. And then we're going to put who the first bowler is, and for that we're just going to do bowler X. So that's kind of the basic information you need to start the game. And now I'm going to go through some of the different scenarios in and over. So the first thing that could happen is just a dot ball, which means the ball's thrown, but no runs or anything major happens. So what you're going to do is you mark that by a dot. So for the bowler, because that's their first throw of the over, you're just going to put a dot. You're putting all the stuff in the top section half of this. So you're just going to put a dot. I know it's kind of small to see, but that's all you're going to need. You do need to see the whole score sheet, but it's just a small dot right there. A lot of this is written pretty small, so you just have to be aware of that. You got to write pretty small in most of this. So you just put 1 dot, no runs are scored, anything like that. The next thing that's going to happen is for batsman A, they're just going to score 1 run. So how we mark that is the first thing you do is for batsman A, you mark 1 run was scored. You also mark for the bowler that their next bowl caused 1 run to be scored. And then up here in your cumulative tally, you're going to slash through the 1 so that you know 1 run was scored. What that means now is that batsman A and batsman B have switched ends as they ran across to score that 1 run. So now batsman B is the one that the bowler is throwing at. So for this, batsman B is going to have there's going to be a wide ball. So what that means for batsman B, it doesn't mark anything. It actually only marks something for bowler. So down here for the bowler, for things like the extras, so the wide ball, no ball, bye, leg bye, anything like that, those can have any sort of special marking just so you know what they are. Some common ones are to either use like triangles, circles, crosses, anything like that, just so that you can tell when these happen. What I'm going to use for the wide that happened is I'm going to use a cross. I'm just going to put this right here so you understand. If a no ball happens, I would use a dot, a bye, a triangle, and a leg bye. You could use like an upside down triangle, whatever symbols work for you, just so you as a scorer know what they are. So for wide, we're going to use that cross, which means for the bowler, their next bowl in their over was a cross, which means a wide. So what we're also going to do is we're going to mark a tally next to the wide. And then that means that they're going to get another run. So when you mark it in the cumulative run tally, you probably should also do a cross. You don't have to, but if you also do a cross, then you can understand where that run came from. So you understand that correlates to that cross, the 1 wide, it all correlates together, just so you understand. If you're looking back at it, you have an understanding of where everything relates to, so that's not just a total running tally. You can kind of follow the cumulative run tally based on what happened during the game. And because that there was a wide that the bowler threw, the bowler actually still has 4 balls left. That one doesn't count as one of the 6 bowls for the over, so they still have the 4 bowls left. So batsman B is still up at bat, and when this happens, they're going to score 4 runs. So to mark 4 runs, you're just going to put, for batsman B, you're going to put a 4. Down here for the bowler, you're going to also put a 4. I know this is all pretty small. It's hard to tell what all this is, but it's pretty small. I'll show you close-ups at the end. For the cumulative run tally, you're going to mark that all. The easiest way to do that is actually to mark it all at once. So just draw a line through 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers so that you know these were all scored together as one line. And then that's kind of the end of that run. So when they score 4 runs, you do those few things. Then we're just going to have another dot. That's actually the most common type of bowl in cricket is just another dot. So just put that there. That's going to happen the most. It just means no runs are scored. It just counts as another bowl. Then we're going to have a bye bold. So this one is something unique. Byes don't affect the bowler, but they do score runs. So what a bye does is actually, we're going to mark it as a triangle. So for the bowler, you're going to mark it as a triangle. You're going to put another tally in this extra spot next to bye. And then for your cumulative run tally, you're going to put a triangle over 7. This also does mean that the batsmen have crossed, and now that batsman A is back being on strike. So just be aware of that. So it's a bye, and that is really the 5th for bowler X. For the last bowl, the over, we are going to have a wicket. This wicket is going to be for batsman A as they're up to bat. So the first thing we're going to do is mark that batsman A had a wicket. The easiest way to do that is to do 2 chevrons next to batsman A so that you know they're done. Working across, this one is 4/6. So what that means is you have to mark whether or not they had any 4s or 6. They did not. They only had the 1 run. So you're just going to put some lines through that. How they got out, we're going to say that they were caught out. The bowler is bowler X. You can also put like their number, whatever you have to call them down here. You can just put that right there. And the number of runs they scored, which was 1 run. The next thing you're going to do is for the bowler, you're going to mark their last bowl of the over as a W, because that's a wicket. And then this is the fall of the wicket section. For this section, you are now going to put the score at the time. So when it says wicket, the next thing is score. So the current score is 7 runs. And the batsman that fell to the wicket is batsman A. So we're just going to put an A. So you could put their number. In a normal game, you probably put their number, but we're just using the initials. So you already have one wicket down. What we now can do, because of that, is we can mark that the next batsman's coming in because the wicket fell and batsman A is out. We can put that batsman C is coming in. So we can put batsman C. It's also the end of the over, which means the next bowler is going to be coming in. But first we're going to end this over. So to end the over, right here in this little box below, so below where all your notes are, you're going to put what to do at the end of the over. So what happened? So the first thing you're going to mark is the number of runs that that bowler allowed, and you're going to mark the number of wickets. So the number of wickets is 1, and then they allowed 6 runs. Any of the bye doesn't count as one of the runs that they allowed. So even though there's 7 total runs, they only allowed 6 of them. So you're going to put 1-6. And then in this bottom section for the overs, you're going to mark in that first over, you're going to mark that the score was 7, the wickets 1, and that the bowler was X. That's really the important information that you need to mark, just so you have a final score at the end of the over, the number of wickets, and the bowler. So you know where you are in the game. And then this is some of the stats specifically for the bowler. We can also add in the next bowler because the over is over. So we know that the next bowler is going to be bowler Y. So you can put that in as they're going to be the next one to bowl. So now I'm going to zoom in on each one of the second sections and just kind of show you what I wrote in each one. I know it's hard to see as there's so much going on and you have to write it so small. So this is kind of showing the top section where I put all the information. So we have the ABC versus XYZ, the innings. This is for ABC at stadium. And the date is 10/10/21. Here's all of our batsman information. So I had batsman A, B, and C. The runs they scored. The chevrons to show that they had a wicket and they're done. To mark off the 4 and 6, they didn't have any. They were caught out by bowler X and they scored 1 run. Moving down that end of the wicket section. So we had the score was 7, batsman A. These are your extras. So your wide, your no ball, your bye, your leg bye, marking which ones of those happened. This is your bowler section. So what happened during the over? We have a dot, a 1, a cross, a 4, a dot, a triangle, and a W to say that we had 2 different dots in that one. We had 1 run, we had a wide ball, 4 runs, we had a bye, and then we also had a wicket. Then we put on the 1-6, meaning that there was 1 wicket and 6 caused runs by bowler X. And then we put bowler Y because they're going to be our next bowler. And then on the bottom section, our over section down here, we put that the score was 7, wickets 1, and that it was bowler X who had the over. The final section was our cumulative run section for this. So we had the single run, the run caused by the wide ball, the 4, and then we had the bye. One other thing you can mark is on the side here, like who the scorers are. So you can put your own name right here, who the captains are, and then the umpires. You can mark all that on the side here. At the end, you're going to be able to put the final score. This does allow for a lot of points. So you may actually see that it goes 1 up to 9 and then 10. So this is really 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, so forth and so on. And down here, it's, 390, 391, 92. Just writing all the score, they just start at the 10s and then you can add in the extras from there. But this is all the basic information that you need to know for the cricket score sheet, how to mark everything, and mark all the basic information. If you have any questions about this or the rules of cricket, definitely let me know in the comments down below. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions about the score sheet or want any more details about cricket, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I do have a video on the rules of cricket that you can check out. I will have that linked up in the iCard if you're interested in learning more about that or learning how to score any other sports. I will have a playlist linked at the end. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching and I will see you guys next Wednesday.